Guys, you won't believe this. I was originally a killer who trained for 10 years. I was about to save the world when the system sent me to the wrong channel. My gun turned into plastic, and the system just bailed on me. When I was broke and couldn't even afford a meal, I got tricked into a boy band with the promise of free food and housing. I thought my teammates would be refined idols. Turns out, one S a bankrupt CEO, another S a cultivator who transmigrated to the wrong world, and the last one is an Avenger who gets all his enemies killed. Our Group S future is totally screwed. I debut, believe it or not, 1 second, I had 2 knives stuck in my back. I was holding a gun, ready to put an end to this world, and the next second, some passerby whistled at me and said, "Bro, you into cosplay?" Where the hell did I end up? That damn system dropped me in the wrong channel. I'm Jung Sun, a killer who spent 10 years training in a virtual space. The system kept brainwashing me, saying the world was on the verge of destruction. It said I needed to assassinate the big boss of an evil organization. I believed it. Then I landed. Where's the boss? Where's my gun? Everything turned into plastic. The system saw it coming. I ran away. I was squatting on the curb, questioning my life choices. For a whole month, I hadn't received any assassin missions. Instead, people kept asking me to do cosplay. If this continued, I would actually become a famous cosplayer. At my wit's end, I started wandering the streets. A man in a suit bumped into me. My assassin instinct made me dodge instantly, and the box cutter hidden in my sleeve slid halfway out. But then he said enthusiastically, "Hey, handsome, interested in becoming an idol? Free room and board, free room and board." Those 4 words hit right on my survival needs. In a daze, I followed and signed a contract. I got in a car. The car turned into a pitch-black alley, at the end of which was an old building. I was familiar with this scene. The system had simulated it countless times. Such places were perfect for ambushes and sneak attacks. I kept my ears pricked the whole way, but there wasn't even a ghost. I only found a black stray cat. I held the cat, knocked on the studio door. It was unlocked, so I went straight in. A young voice came from inside. I took a deep breath, pushed the door open, and went in, and then I was stunned. I had expected to see a group of sparkling, exquisite idols. But what I saw was a tough-looking troublemaker, a laughing joker, and a moldy broccoli. The moldy broccoli was the one with blue-green hair who had yelled, "The door is unlocked," twice. The 3 of them were playing dodiju. When the joker saw me, his eyes lit up. "Everyone's here. We can finally play mahjong." Before I could even introduce myself, I was pushed down at the mahjong table. It wasn't until after a couple of rounds that I suddenly snapped awake. "Wait a minute. Aren't I here to be in a boy band? Aren't you guys boy band members?" I asked. Yeah, they replied. The joker answered with a grin. "We're a group. We even have a group name." The moldy broccoli struggled to recall. "It's called White Towel." "It's White Tower," the joker corrected him. "Your white towel sounds like a bath scrubber." Same difference, same difference. The cool troublemaker let out a cold snort through gritted teeth. From the moment I walked in, he kept repeating just 3 interjections. "Humph," and "huh." I cautiously asked, "And this Mr. Humph, huh?" The joker called him Huang He. He waved his hand. "Don't mind him. That's just his persona." I found out later. This cool guy is Chung Jia, a classic CEO type, the kind who says things like "it's getting cold, time to make the Wong Corporation go bankrupt." And woman, you've successfully caught my attention. He trained hard in the CEO track for 10 years, only to go bankrupt right after taking over the company. With no business to do, he had no choice but to become an idol. The moldy broccoli, He Yuxing, is a cultivator who time-traveled here. He ended up in the wrong world's sparse, spiritual energy, unable to unleash his ultimate moves, forced to become an idol. We were just talking, when he suddenly sat cross-legged, formed his hands into a peacock shape on his knees, closed his eyes, and started muttering. I was startled. What's wrong with him? Huang tossed a peanut at him. "It's nothing. At this hour, he just does this, circulating his inner energy, connecting with heaven and man." I looked at the skyscrapers outside the window, then at He Yuxing sitting in meditation. "Isn't this supposed to be a modern city?" "Yeah, but he isn't," He said calmly, as if commenting on the nice weather. "He was originally the protagonist of a cultivation novel, ended up in the wrong world. Now he can only be an idol." He Yuxing suddenly opened his eyes, looking utterly devastated. "My sect is in trouble, but I'm trapped in this other world and can't save them. I Every time you lose too much, you pull this routine, Huang He said, tossing another peanut. Hurry up and draw a card. Oh, Hiyushing quietly put down his leg and continued drawing. I'm totally messed up. I looked at Huang He, the only normal person in the room. What about you? Were you also tricked into coming here with room and board? Huang He grinned brightly. More or less. But I also have my own storyline. I was originally the male lead of a revenge and face-slapping novel. But my fate is too strong. As soon as I transmigrated, all my enemies were killed off. The boss said I ward off evil and attract wealth. So they made me an idol. I gasped. A bankrupt CEO, a transmigrated immortal, and a revenger who killed off his enemies. I silently stood up. Sorry, I made a mistake. This must be a mental hospital. Goodbye. Huang He stretched out his arm and pressed down on my shoulder. His voice had a damn seductive quality. Here, room and board are provided, base salary $3,500 per month, weekends off, plus 20 days of annual leave. I immediately sat down with a serious expression. I felt like I had known the three of you all along. You are my destined teammates. And so, the killer Zheng Sun officially began his idol group career. We had a group name called TWT, full name the White Tower. Translated, it's White Tower. I stared at the abbreviation for a long time, and Huang He came over to ask what I was looking at. I said, TWD looks like a crying monkey. Huang He was silent for 2 seconds. With your state of mind, joining our group now is already too late. Actually, I realized. The four of us should never have formed a group. We should go do crosstalk instead. Huang He said that was the backup plan they had prepared for themselves. For now, the guys still want to rely on their looks to make a living. The manager, Chu Li, was a capable woman with a high ponytail. The first time she came to check our homework, I witnessed the disaster firsthand. The last task assigned was to write a song with a teammate as the theme. Hiyushing was assigned to write about Chang Jie. He submitted a song called The Bankrupt CEO, Chang, saying it's time to let the world know he's over, begging in the cold wind. Chu Li was silent. Hiyushing quickly pulled out another one. Sister Chu, I have a backup song. Chu Li took it, her brows furrowing even deeper. There was no song about the female lead CEO practicing her CEO lines against a lamppost. Compared to your last one, where is the innovation? Hiyushing pondered deeply, suddenly slapping his thigh. The innovation lies in its name, having one extra word. Chu Li silently took out a medicine bottle from her bag, swallowed 2 pills. I watched her with concern, only to realize later that the bottle was filled with chocolate beans. Cheng Jie was the second to submit his homework. He walked over arrogantly and flung the lyrics in front of Chu Li. Announced in a CEO tone, "Woman, your requested lyrics." First page, humph. Turn to the second page, ha. Cheng Jie crossed his arms. You're welcome. You can have all of them. Chu Li swallowed 2 more chocolate beans. Finally, it was Huang He. He came up with a grin, saying he only wrote one song called Stars, adapted from a French folk song. The melody is catchy and the lyrics are smooth. Chu Li looked down and saw that the entire song had only one line. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, the sky is full of Hiyushing. This is the lyrics you spent 7 days writing? Yeah, Huang He said matter-of-factly. Concise, leaving blank space for the audience's imagination. I couldn't bear to watch anymore. I snatched Chu Li's medicine bottle. Sis, you can't even eat chocolate beans like this, Chu Li said, taking back the bottle I had grabbed. Staring at me with a look that seemed to see the hope of the whole village. At that moment, my back went cold, and I had a bad premonition. Sure enough, it was my turn to hand in the assignment. I had struggled for 7 days and only written 6 words. In the end, I spent an hour rushing out a complete lyric. Chu Li looked down and finished reading, then gasped. My song was called Our Group is Probably Doomed. This is it. Chu Li slapped his thigh. Wait, this song was a quick 1-hour composition for me. This song is especially great. Huang He was the first to hold me down. Very good, I agree. Hiyushing was second. Not bad. Cheng Jie was third. 3 men over 1.85 meters firmly pressed me down. Huang He whispered in my ear, don't struggle. If this still doesn't pass, we'll have to keep writing. Think about the pain of continuing to write. I immediately stopped struggling. I nodded vigorously. Sis, let's go with this, no changes. Just like that, Our Group is Probably Doomed became our debut song. Chu Li also assigned me the group's role, visual center. My persona is a warm and friendly little sun. Chief Chung gave a spot-on assessment. More like a cunning, venomous queen. I wasn't convinced, but the agent had already greenlit it. I had to accept it. The debut day was approaching, and the group's live stream was set for January 23rd. Because the budget was really insufficient, we had to handle all the promotion ourselves. Chung Jie went to film a short drama, playing a domineering CEO as himself. Huang had a side gig as a virtual streamer, playing games and singing. He wasn't popular, but at least he had a few fans. He Yuxing would live stream doing handstands and singing Qinghai Tibet Plateau. Every time, I would sneak out of the house before the camera could catch me. That day, He Yuxing was about to go live with his antics again. I grabbed something from the shoe cabinet by the door and ran. When I got to the street, I realized what I grabbed was a promotional poster designed by He Yuxing. That poster had a bright red background with blue song-type font, and our ID photos were blown up out of proportion. He said this was Impressionism, a blend of East and West. Later, the three of us beat him up. The beating was quite abstract. He Yuxing defended himself at the time. It's quite impressive. Isn't it impressionist? I really can't bear to show this embarrassing poster. I had to roll it up and tuck it under my arm, wandering the streets. Passing by a small shop, I bought 2 boxes of steaming hot butter rice cakes, planning to bring them back for everyone to share. Just then, a scream cut through the street. "Thief! Stop him!" A gust of wind rushed past me. Someone slammed hard into my shoulder. The rice cake I just bought hit the ground with a splat. Golden crumbs scattered everywhere. I stared at the rice cake on the ground. I was angry. Normally, I keep my cool steady as steel. No joke phases me. But the hot rice cake was gone before I even had a single bite. I was furious. All passers-by saw was a dark shadow burst forward. I chased that thief 3 blocks. Every step exploded with the power of a trained assassin. Only one thought in my mind: pay for my rice cake. At the corner of the 3rd block, I lunged forward in one swift move, pinned the thief to the ground, gave him a smack on the back of the head. "Stealing stuff? Pay for my rice cake." The victim panted as she caught up. A little girl with a backpack. Someone had already called the cops. The thief struggled even while pinned down, glared back at me fiercely. I can't stand this infuriating attitude. Grabbed the poster tube and poked him a few more times. Stealing and still thinking in the right? Huh? A crowd gathered. Some praised my quick moves. Others helped keep an eye on the thief. I was crouching on the ground, recounting the tragic fate of that box of rice cakes. 2 people in work uniforms pushed through the crowd. One carrying a camera, one holding a microphone. "Hello, sir. We're from the City Legal Education Program. Your righteous act of chasing the thief 3 blocks was just captured by our camera. Now, could you share your thoughts with the lens?" My mind went blank for a second. The camera was rolling, so I grabbed the microphone, looked into the camera lens. The lens reflected back at me. I saw my hair all messed up from the chase. But that didn't matter. I cleared my throat, found the perfect spot to stand, unfurled the poster with a dramatic swoosh, revealing the 4 pitifully messy letters: TWT. "Hello, dear audience. I am Jung Sun from TWT Boy Band. Please support us, TWT." Debut live stream at 8 p.m. on January 23rd. In a dazzling world of glamour, TWT shines the brightest. Society has no shade tree. TWT can subdue everything. TWT, the boy band among boy bands. Idol among idols. The boy band that overturns everything in boy band history. After shouting, I bowed, handed the microphone back to the stunned reporter, calmly said thank you, turned and left, but after 2 steps, I turned back. How do you get to the rice cake shop? That night, hashtag young man chases thief 3 blocks hashtag and hashtag TWT. Boy band among boy bands hashtag trended on hot search. Sitting at home, trending comes from heaven. He Yuxing sang Qinghai Tibet Plateau 3 times. Amazing lung capacity, even unwilling to stop. He did a handstand against the wall, singing with great enthusiasm. Friends who just entered the live stream, please follow. We're reading comments now. Comments ask, is the host really singing? Of course the streamer sings live. The streamer can start singing wherever they want. Now we're singing this Yalajuo. He clears his throat and opens his mouth. Yalajuo, that is Kving Zhanghai Af Oha Ho Ho Ho. Whoa, the TV on the opposite wall is playing news about Zhang Sun. He Yuxing didn't recognize Zhang Sun at first, but he recognized that impressionist poster of his. The barrage comments are flooding. Is the streamer dodging the high note? Yuxing climbs down from the wall and crawls over to the front of the TV. After double-checking, it really is Zheng Sun. At the internet cafe, he is doing his weekly stream. He puts more effort into being a virtual streamer than Yuxing. He streams 3 times a week regularly. During the streams, He's voice is deeper than usual. Lots of new faces today, huh? Let me check the comments. Why does the streamer use a monkey avatar? Because the streamer wants to return to nature. Why is there a monkey in a suit talking on the screen? Because the stream would be banned if it wasn't wearing clothes, huh? Even monkeys need to wear clothes when live streaming. I must be hallucinating. A monkey singing an English song. This is a monkey who studied abroad. It's normal for him to sing English songs. What did the monkey streamer study abroad? The monkey streamer studied abroad in the Western paradise. He stared at the comment section, making things up as soon as he opens his eyes. His phone on the side suddenly buzzed with dozens of messages. He took a glance while drinking water. All of them were from Yuxing. Holy crap! Zheng Sun. He, check the trending topics now. Our group is about to blow up. He quickly replied to him, telling him to stop singing handstands in the live stream. That's not going to mess up his brain or anything. Then he randomly refreshed the page. The trending topic, guy chases for 3 blocks, was still number 1. He choked on his water. Coughing nonstop, the comments flooded in. The overseas monkey streamer just choked on water. Sheng Jie was also scrolling on his phone. Today was his last scene. It's already finished filming. He's worked with the actress several times. They're familiar now, and the short drama industry is getting more and more competitive. Many small actors want a piece of the pie. The actress lamented that times are getting tougher. She even joked with Cheng Jie, saying maybe their next project would have them paired up again. But Cheng Jie suddenly stood up. I'm done filming. I'm going to pack up and debut as an idol. The actress was stunned. Going from short dramas to being an idol. Isn't that jumping from one fire pit into another? Besides, if Cheng Jie wants to be an idol, is he going to tell his fans, "Woman, you must obey me unconditionally"? She shuddered, then patted her head, clearing out all those random thoughts. Maybe Cheng Jie was just joking. Regarding that trending topic, online discussions were heated. LOL, what kind of news is this? Not gonna lie, that guy's actually pretty handsome. Why would someone promote a boy band after doing a good deed? Haha, such a hardworking member, haha. He's probably not from a big company. No company support. It's a shame he's this good looking. Holy crap, it's an actual boy band. I found his account. Netizens found Zheng Sun's personal account. They also found the official account's bio. What they couldn't believe was, this boy band that had 0 buzz was actually backed by 4 big companies. Sheng Jie is an artist signed under Minke Entertainment. Minke is a very established entertainment company. They launched the first nationwide popular male idol group at the end of the last century. Now the company mainly develops actors, solo singers, and girl groups. Boy groups have gone from being their strength to their weakness. Producer Xiao Jun strongly pushed Cheng Jie into the company, hoping to make a change. He is an artist under Bishi Entertainment. Bishi and Minke are in similar situations. Both have deep roots. Bishi's scale is not large. The current boss is a once famous producer. They pursue song quality. In terms of group planning, they seek steady progress. They have a relatively stable fan base. It is said that he was originally preparing to join another group, but for some unknown reason, he was not included after the debut. The company said it was based on considerations of he's personal and the company's future plans. Fans only felt that he's debut slot was taken. Fortunately, he had not officially debuted yet, so there were not many fans, and this opinion gradually faded. Yuxing is from Wanshi Entertainment. Wanshi is a very powerful company. It, along with Jioding and Qinglan, is known as one of the 3 giants of entertainment companies. The positioning of the 3 companies is slightly different. Qinglan's main strength lies in the acting department. It focuses on film and television and does not invest much in boy groups or girl groups. Wanshi and Jioding are different. The male-female groups launched by these 2 companies occupy the largest share of the current idol market. The timing of their new group debuts is always close together, so fans of the 2 companies often clash, each believing their own group will reach the top. Yuxing first started in Wanshi's acting department, landing a few minor roles. He never got popular, but because of his outstanding singing skills, He proposed trying out as an idol on his own. The boss agreed. As for Jung Sun, he was an artist Jioding had just signed, and even the boss of Jioding had never met him in person. He just went straight to form the group. Now the four of them formed an experimental group, with their group contract under Jiai Company. Jiai is a very mysterious company. There isn't much information about it online. It's said that it wasn't originally in the entertainment industry. Judging from the fact that group members have to do offline promotions themselves to debut, their company's ability to manage idols is really concerning. However, everyone will soon find out. Although Jiai seems like a complete joke of a company, its judgment is sharp. It can gather four so-called geniuses into one group, and the boss of Jiai is truly skilled at identifying talent. Right now, Chu Li is at the Jiai company, speaking with the boss, Qin Yi. Chu Li is here to apply for funding, although she always acts as if the four members don't exist, deliberately ignoring all their objections, and treats their alarming antics as their unique way of communicating. She still cares a lot about this group. She and Qin Yi are separated by a desk. The refined and handsome boss Qin is looking down at a document. Boss, Chu Li, don't speak just yet. Boss Qin puts down the document, looks straight at Chu Li, and says, first, take out the rope in your bag. Found out. Chu Li instinctively covers her handbag, as if protecting her very life. Every time she comes to ask for money, it's either beg again, or threaten to hang herself. Crying and throwing a tantrum won't work. Otherwise, she would have used that trick. Qin Yi told Chu Li to drink some water. You don't need to put on that exaggerated act in front of him today. The newcomer you're mentoring is quite capable. He's already made it to the trending topics on his own. Manager Chu heard this. Her head was buzzing. What? He hasn't even debuted yet, and he's already on the trending list? She opened her phone to see which little bastard had caused trouble for her, and saw Jung Sun's act of bravery, and the poster in his hand. You have more important things to do now. Qin Yi smiled at her. You're gonna get busy, manager. Chu Li shot up from her seat, said goodbye to Qin Yi, and immediately drove back to the studio. Can't wait for the live stream on January 23rd. She had to strike while the iron was hot. She would do a live stream tonight first. After leaving the office, Chu Li immediately made a phone call, asking where the four of them were. As the office door closed, Qin Yi also dialed a number. Inside the spacious room, his voice sounded. Have you seen the trending topic? It's about Jung Sun. I told you, he can do it on his own. You were just overly worried. There's one more thing I need to tell you. Jung Sun's personal contract is not with me. It's with Jioding. Jioding got ahead. I didn't expect that. If there's trouble Jung Sun can't handle later, I'll step in. I'll keep an eye on him. But I also need to remind you, he and Jung Sun only look alike. That's all. Jung Sun was the last to know he had become popular. He was wandering outside, bought 4 more servings of butter rice cakes, thinking about his pitiful salary of 3,500, wondering how many servings he could buy with that. Too poor. The cost of living in a big city is high. If the studio didn't provide meals and housing, Jung Sun would be sleeping under a bridge right now. He aimlessly walked on the street for a while, found a secluded spot, hung upside down from a tree barely 10 minutes in. The phone he'd left under the tree rang. Only his manager could be calling. Jung Sun picked up the phone. Chu Li? It's Jung Sun. You still alive? Though Jung Sun had no idea why she'd asked that out of the blue, he answered honestly. Dead. Not dead yet. Good. Chu Li, as always, didn't bother listening to the members. Get back to the studio now. We're doing an impromptu live stream tonight. You're about to blow up. Sis, are you sure you don't need some meds? You're talking in your sleep. Not in a rush to take them. Where are you? Can you get a cab? I'll drive to pick you up. No need. Jung Sun looked up, just in time to see a taxi passing by. He flagged it down. I'm getting in the car now. Jung Sun opened the door and got in. The taxi driver was chatting with his colleagues about something that had just happened. Heard about it. Some guy chasing a thief. Sprinted 3 blocks straight, right by the park. It was quite lively just now. They said the young man was quite handsome. He even made it on a TV. Ha ha ha. Jung Sun had been looking down at his phone, hearing the driver's words. A question mark slowly appeared above his head. Could the driver be talking about him? At this point, Jung Sun hadn't realized the seriousness of the issue. He thought the interview he gave was for a small segment. When he returned to the studio, the other 3 teammates and Chu Li had all arrived. Does everyone want to eat rice cakes? Zhang Sun was still thinking about his rice cakes. Chu Li rushed over in a few steps, stared at him solemnly. Comrade Zhang Sun, thank you for your contribution to the group's publicity. Ah, Zhang Sun was slow to react. Are you talking about this afternoon? That was just a casual thing. Chu Li took out his phone. The page displayed on it. It was the trending list. Look, it shot to #1 on the trending list this afternoon. Still hanging at 5th place now. Zhang Sun stared at his phone screen, slowly widening his eyes. No way. That actually works? This trending topic is way too easy to get on. Huang He approached him, smiling and patting his shoulder. News about a handsome guy chasing a thief for 3 blocks is too niche. Zhang Sun was a bit dazed. Suddenly, he felt his hands empty. Turning around, he saw the other 3 already eating. Ah, you 3. Zhang Sun rushed over and grabbed Cheng Jia by the neck first. Cheng Jia cough. Why is it always him? Slow down with the killing. Chu Li swiftly stepped in to stop them. No kidding, the 4 people in this room now are all precious money trees. The 30th job is finally secured. Chu Li started discussing tonight's live stream content with the 4. Should we release the debut song early? Huang Yi asked. Chu Li thought seriously for a moment. Shakes head. No. Zhang Sun announced the official debut time on TV. We'll announce it on the debut night. But we can release a short demo tonight. Cheng Jia, let me confirm with you again. The debut song is finished, right? Of course. Cheng Jia barely survived under Assassin Zhang, then got kicked by the cat that Zhang Sun brought. Right on his back. Cough, cough, don't die, don't die. Chu Li quickly handed him a glass of water. He Yuxing suddenly raised his hand. Yuxing, go ahead. Sister Chu, can I apply to add special effects? Denied. Huang He also joined in the trouble. I want to wear a fursuit and stream. Denied for you too. After He Yuxing and Huang He were both forced to shut up, Zhang Sun opened his mouth, also wanting to say something. Denied. But I haven't said anything yet. Chu Li thought for a moment. You are the big hero today. You can speak. Sister Chu, I want to be the manager. Then I made my debut, going against the grain, and Zhang Sun along with his 2 teammates shut their mouths. General Manager Cheng dismissed the above dialogue with a single word. Ridiculous. Summarized the above conversation. Although the impromptu meeting was chaotic, the most crucial points were settled. Chu Li gradually mastered the technique of communicating with the 4 of them. As long as she could tolerate their endless stream of pure nonsense and wild, fanciful ideas, the 4 of them were still very reliable. Huang He and He Yuxing had live streaming experience. Cheng Jia also had performance experience. Chu Li wasn't worried about these 3. Only Zhang Sun, whose background was unknown, remained. He looked at her with a sincere expression. Zhang Sun, you? Chu Li, sis. I know what you want to say. You know? Zhang Sun nodded and reassured her. Don't worry, it's definitely going to be a mess. Chu Li, who was not comforted in the slightest, could only suppress her headache and give instructions to the other 3. Don't let Zhang Sun stir up trouble. This is your official debut as a group to the public. There are your future fans in the audience. Chu Li took a deep breath. I don't have very high demands for you. Just act like normal people. If you really can't, just hold back and don't speak. Trust me, with my extensive work experience, just relying on your 4 faces, TWT can still carve out a place in the boy band market. The 4 of them actually stopped talking. They nodded obediently. Chu Li was still a bit uneasy. Also, those 4 complicated personas of yours. Don't rush to bring them out. He Yuxing, you are not allowed to say you are an immortal venerable. Actually, I am a chief disciple under Elder Dao Mi of the Overlord sect. He Yuxing corrected her. Chulis templas trubat. Zhang Sun tilted his head to look at him. He asked curiously, didn't you say last time that you were the lead disciple of Ghost Cloud sect? The sect was destroyed. He Yuxing actually managed to continue that story. Didn't I say? I am trapped in a different world. Can't return to the sect. That's so cool. Zhang Sun exclaimed in admiration. In short, Chu Li joined their conversation. He Yuxing, don't bring the stories from your world into this one. This is spiritual pollution. Also, Zhang Sun, don't claim to be a killer. Zhang Sun protested. Why can Huang He and Cheng Jia keep their personas? Because the 2 of them can pass censorship. What? Their storylines only need to be extended a little bit, and they'd end up on a legal program. But their stories ended abruptly from the start. Chu Li corrected seriously. Now the 4 of you, no matter your backgrounds, must dutifully become idols. Zhang Sun was a bit down at first, but Chu Li quickly added, "That's how you'll make big money." Zhang Sun immediately had no objections. Huang He, beside Zhang Sun, grinned and said, "It's fine. Zhang Sun, if you feel your hands itching, you can practice on Chang Jia." Chang Jia, Huang He, I want to fight you. I'll pay you 500, hire you. Zhang Sun, go fight Chang Jia. My appearance fee is very expensive. Seeing the three about to bicker again, Chu Li, undoing Ahadaka, said to He Yuxing, "Yuxing, think of something. Aren't you good at magic?" "I can't cast magic right now," He Yuxing said enthusiastically, "but I can recite the path to rebirth for everyone." Although the process was chaotic, by 7 in the evening, the live stream began smoothly. TWT's official account had posted the live stream notice hours earlier. Surprisingly, tens of thousands had signed up for the live stream. It seemed everyone liked watching handsome guys, as well as enjoying a bit of drama. TWT had some pre-debut fans. After all, Chang Jia, Huang He, and He Yuxing came from big companies, so they had some level of exposure. Only Zhang Sun was a complete newbie, even if backed by Jude & Company, and have never released any material related to him. Everyone is guessing whether Zhang Sun is Nine Cauldrons' secret weapon. Regarding this, Mo Qian, the boss of Nine Cauldrons, said, "How come I don't know the company signed such a talent?" Mo Qian is holding a meeting with the heads of the company's 4 centers. He asked with a smile, looking at the people sitting on both sides of him. The core figures of Nine Cauldrons. Li Su was the first to speak. "Brother Qian, you know that. The 4th center is only in charge of models, not responsible for idols." Li Su explained simply. Mo Qian shifted his gaze from him to Yu Shueshan, who was sitting opposite him. Yu Shueshan lazily propped her head with her hand. "Last night, I drank too late with my girlfriends. Still a bit tipsy now." When Mo Qian asked her, she replied with a slight delay, "Boss, you know me. The people under me are all actors. Even if I begged them to be idols, they wouldn't. Of course, if this handsome guy is willing to switch to acting, Center 3 is very welcoming." Yu Shueshan's answer was also without any issues. Mo Qian turned his gaze to Zhao Ran. Zhao Ran looked equally righteous. "Although Center 2 manages idols, I prefer to handle things personally. If there was such an outstanding talent, I would mentor him myself rather than let him take the risk of joining the experimental group." Zhao Ran's statement also earned Mo Qian's approval. Now, Boss Missouri turned to the only one who hadn't answered the head of Center 1, Gu Xiuqi. Gu Xiuqi remained extremely steady. He smiled slightly. "I just got back from a business trip, and I'm not yet informed about this matter. I'll look into it after the meeting." Monta Qian also smiled. "Zhang Sun has great looks, isn't afraid of the camera, and knows how to seize opportunities. He also has a strong sense of justice and a good personality. Now I want to ask, since he's such a talented individual, why not nurture him at headquarters instead of handing him over to Jiai for management?" "But it's to be handed over to Jiai for management." Gu Xiuqi lowered his head and took a sip of tea. Zhao Ran rolled her eyes and glared at the ceiling. Yu Shueshan admired her manicure. Li Su opened his meeting notebook, which had been blank for 3 years. Mo Qian continued to smile. "Great. Now everyone has their own little secrets. Our Jioding is truly a united family." This statement made everyone present feel guilty. Jioding Company was notorious for surface harmony but internal discord, because every person in the company was a 1 in a million talent. So they ended up with a bunch of arrogant employees. But ironically, the company's cultural slogan was unity, friendship, cooperation. Mo Qian knew that asking further would yield nothing. But he had already guessed roughly who signed Zhang Sun and kept him out of the company. Mo Qian wasn't in a hurry. "Let's see the effect of tonight's live stream. Then I'll judge." Meeting adjourned. Mo Qian was the first to leave the meeting room. Yu Shueshan and Li Su also left. Now only Zhao Ran and Gu Xiuqi were left in the meeting room. Zhao Ran whispered softly, "Xiao Gu, you signed Zhang Sun, didn't you?" Gu Xiuqi smiled without saying a word. "Not denying it means you're admitting it. I knew you took a contract out the other day. Being so secretive." Zhao Ran relaxed. He leaned back against the plush leather chair, with both hands behind his head. "Speaking of which, since you signed him, why don't you keep him under your watch? This young man is hot topic material. I think he's bound to blow up later." Zhao Ran had been a producer for many years. With his sharp eye, any newcomer he says will blow up, will definitely become a huge star. He had hardly ever misjudged. Jiuding is very competitive right now, and there's some cutthroat competition. It's hard for Zhang Sun to get the best resources here. The first center already has 4 groups, and another girl group is about to debut. But under Jiai, there's only one idol group. Since Boss Qin wants a piece of the pie, he'll have to invest heavily in resources. In the early stages, he was just waiting to see if TWT was worth his money. Now, the group has proven its potential value. So Qin, he won't hesitate anymore. It's rare for Gu Xiuqi to explain at such length, which shows he thinks highly of the newcomers. Zhao Ran listened for a long time, and finally summed it up with just one sentence. So why don't you transfer him to second center? I have a boy group about to debut under me. Well, you'd rather let your cabbage grow in the wild than hand it over to your good neighbor. Even boiling water at 100 degrees will go cold, and a 37-degree human heart makes me feel corpse cold. It's like the flood flooding the Dragon King's temple. One's own people fighting each other, while Zhao Ran was accusing him. Gu Xiuqi had already pulled out his phone. Checking the time. It should be almost time for Zhang Sun's live stream. This stream has a lot of people paying attention, except for Jiuding Minke. Wan Shi, Bishi, and even Qinglan were paying attention. Hua Zian was a new actor that Qinglan had been heavily promoting recently. His latest campus drama had just become a smash hit. Considering Hua Zian had already taken on 2 similar roles before, the company decided it was time for him to transition. This time, he was filming a suspense drama, which was considered a hot genre. Hua Zian played the 3rd male lead. The 1st and 2nd male leads were both big names, and the screen time for the 3rd lead was just right for a newcomer like him. He had just finished a scene. He was touching up his makeup. Wang Shutong, from the same company, had a guest role in this drama. She handed Hua Zian a bottle of water and asked him what he was watching so intently. Hua Zian replied a bit sheepishly, "It's a live stream." "Oh, which influencer?" "Not an influencer, a boy band." "A boy band? Zian, you're a fan?" "Well, not really, just browsing." In truth, Hua Zian had been scrolling through trending topics on his alt account all afternoon. He was initially drawn in by the news, then found a young man appearing in the footage quite interesting. So he casually tuned into the live stream. At 7 o'clock, the live stream officially began. The popularity of the stream skyrocketed instantly. The comments section started scrolling rapidly. All sorts of bizarre and unusual questions appeared. Wow, it really is a boy group. Damn, those 4 faces are so striking. Where's that handsome guy who chased after them for 3 blocks? I see him. He looks even more handsome than this afternoon. Cheng Jia, as the team leader, was responsible for hosting the entire live stream. Truly didn't want anyone else to join in and affect the quality of the stream, so he chose to trust the 4 of them. Cheng Jia spoke first. "Welcome everyone to our live stream. Tonight's stream will be hosted by the 4 of us throughout. Boss Cheng in work mode is simply unbeatable." The 3 members to his right. "Before we start introducing ourselves, let's all say our group name together at the camera." The 3 nodded, and Cheng Jia muttered quietly, 1, 2, 3. "Hello everyone. Good evening. Hi there. I am. The 4 of us are White Tower." Group. The room echoed with 4 uneven voices. A messy self-introduction sent the comment section into fits of laughter. Chu Li, hidden behind the camera, silently pulled out his pill bottle. Is this the beauty of being rookies? How can they not even chant the group name in unison? Ha ha ha. Laughing my ass off, the 4 of them look like total strangers. No way. Wasn't the self-introduction rehearsed beforehand? These 4 have nothing going for them except their faces. It sounds like 100 mouths are chattering in the room. The 4 were also startled by the ragged chant of their group name. Cheng Jia was the most incredulous one. Logically, such an awkward moment should be quickly brushed aside. But CEO Cheng was clearly not someone easily appeased. He instantly turned his head and confronted the other 3. "Didn't we practice this several times? Why can't you still get in sync?" Huang He spread his hands, looking very relaxed. "That's right, the version I practiced was, 'Hello, everyone. I'm from the White Tower group.'" "Cheng Jia, you're a group all by yourself." "Yeah, I feel like I can represent the 4 of us." Cheng Jia gave Huang He a speechless look. Then he turned to He Yuxing. "What's your deal?" He Yuxing was puzzled himself. "I didn't say anything wrong either." I said, good evening. We're the White Tower Group. Didn't I tell you to say the full English name? I don't like reading foreign words. Cheng Jie glared at him. Finally, he looked at the youngest, Zhang Sun. Zhang Sun lifted his face, as if already expecting the question. Zhang Sun, what's your problem? Report, Captain. I followed your version exactly and recited it word for word. I don't believe you. You must have said the group name's abbreviation. Busted. Our group name is too long. I wanted to save where I could. Cheng Jie listened to the three people's statements, covered his face with both hands, looking pained. The live chat was full of Is it really okay to go for a funny style right after debut? Haha. LOL. Just name him Headache Bro. Loose Bro. No foreign language bro. And Omission Bro. The four of them add up to 1,000. Is it 250 per person? Ha 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 ha. You dance mat guys are so entertaining. What is dance mat? Ha ha. Is it a homophone for TWT? Chuli took 2 pills. Used a process board to prompt Cheng Jie to move to the next step. Cheng Jie coughed once. Composed himself. Now everyone, introduce yourselves to the camera. In order of age, starting with the leader. Cheng Jie faced the camera. Seriously, hello everyone. I am Cheng Jie, the leader of TWT. I am the rapper in the group. I can compose and write lyrics. I hope to work with the TWT members in the future to bring more works to everyone. The leader can write lyrics and compose. Wow, that's impressive. Oh my god, that face is just effortlessly handsome. Cheng Jie is an artist from Minkei Company, right? Why doesn't Minkei train their own talent? Is boss Xiao tired of making money and giving up? Xiao Jun probably has high standards for himself. He's likely in a creative rut. Doesn't want to churn out half-baked work. Welcome, everyone, to follow our 188 centimeters word writing double threat CEO specialist Cheng Jie. Oh right, isn't Cheng Jie that guy from the short dramas? I thought it was just a named twin. Damn, no wonder he looks so familiar. Feels like as soon as he opens his mouth, it's, woman, don't you dare defy me. Who knew the real person would be so normal? Streamer, can you say, woman, don't you dare defy me? Cheng Jie ignored all the bullet comments. Next up, Huang He. Huang He waved enthusiastically. Hi everyone, I'm Huang He, member of TWT. I'm the lead vocalist in the group. My hobby is singing. His specialty is imitating monkey calls. If you're interested, I'm MMM. Cheng Jie ruthlessly covered his mouth. Next up, Yu Xing, your turn. How can a boy band member's talent be monkey calls? I want to hear the monkey calls. Team leader Cheng, don't stop him, Huang He. Bishi's new trainee who didn't debut before. He's become this abstract now? Hasn't he always been this abstract? All three of Huang He's few pieces of content used monkey effects. I saw those too. It's hard to imagine a monkey singing folk songs. Huang He's vocal quality is really good. Then you don't know. Their group also has someone who can sing Qinghai Tibet Plateau while doing a handstand. That beast is about to appear now. He Yuxing is even more enthusiastic than Huang He. He raised his hand right away and gave the camera a big slap. Hello everyone, ouch. The livestream viewers suddenly saw the camera blur. Plus sounds of pots and pans clattering off screen. Quick, help me out. The camera is way too close. Our Yuxing has long arms anyway. Saw the. I wasn't paying attention, Zhang Sun. Don't you dare throw the equipment on the ground. Didn't drop it. After all the chaos, the screen cleared up again. The four of them sat perfectly straight in front of the camera. He Yuxing waved with a bright smile. Hello everyone. I'm He Yuxing, the dance lead of TWT. So funny, like cats or dogs acting innocent after tearing up the house. Wait, Yuxing is the dance lead? Isn't he the one who sings folk songs? He Yuxing with such a good background from Wanshu. Why did he end up in such a nobody group? Maybe it's because Wanshu is too competitive. He Yuxing switched from acting to a boy group, right? What was he thinking? Maybe he really loves singing Qinghai Tibet Plateau while doing handstands. All right, last one. Zhang Sun. Zhang Sun, that handsome guy who chased 3 blocks this afternoon. Finally, we've been waiting for you. Zhang Sun. We like you. The barrage comments noticeably increased. It seems Zhang Sun's previous accidental publicity was quite effective. Hello everyone. I'm Zhang Sun, the magne of TWT. My specialty is tracking. My skill is a one-hit kill. If you have someone you don't like, I'll MMPH. The three of them pounced over. Even Chu Li, who was behind the camera, suddenly stood up. Huang, he straightened the camera and explained with a grin. The kid is young, still in his Chinibu phase. Don't mind him. He Yuxing straightened Zheng Sun back up from his lean. Zheng Sun, with his messy hair, as if rebooting like a machine, nodded to the audience. I'm the Magne, Zheng Sun. Hello, everyone. The barrage comments erupted in laughter again. Like a bot. Is the streamer a killer? Holding back laughter, Zheng Sun was actually the youngest. The youngest were saved. Looks like you can do everything well, but also looks like you can do nothing at all. Is this the charm of the observatory's youngest? Dance mat? Observatory? How many nicknames are you going to give TWT? Is this chaotic self-introduction finally over? Breathe a sigh of relief. Feels like years have passed. The self-introduction segment comes to an end. The chaotic situation is temporarily under control. Chuli wipes a bead of sweat behind the camera. Next up is a short talent showcase from each member. The talent showcase segment. Cheng Jie, as the leader, is the first to go up on stage, confident and composed. Cheng Jie doesn't hold back. A rough rap segment. He takes the stage, pulls out his phone, and plays a beat. CEO Cheng, with his eyes lowered, looks especially serious. The lights are dazzling. Watch my unrestrained entrance. The stage trembles, igniting the confusion in your eyes. The heavy burden of youth. The road leads to the hall. This is my territory. Let the world look up in awe. The music stops. Cheng Jie coldly says a sentence. That's it. That's all. It's over just like that? Ah, Master Cheng, seriously? This group actually isn't a slacker group. Where's the full version? Where's the download link? And where's the contact info? As expected from a rapper. I feel like even Cheng Jie's spoken lines sound like they rhyme. Cheng Jie's done. Next up is Huang He. Huang He gives 2 symbolic claps. He smiles warmly at the camera. My turn, my turn. Does the lead singer really have to imitate a monkey call? No way, bro, with such a handsome face. Why always leeching off the monkey's popularity? Ah, there's a guy in the group who does a handstand while singing Qinghai Tibet Plateau. Huang He, the actual lead singer, must be under a lot of pressure. Here it comes, here it comes. Against everyone's expectations. Huang He doesn't imitate a monkey call. Instead, he normally sings a passage of Peking opera. He brings everyone a short Peking opera performance. Wu Jia Slope. He clears his throat. Sister-in-law, no need for clever words. As a soldier, I fear not even the court. Inside and outside the yamen, I'll handle it all. I'll ensure the verdict goes to us. Soldier, your words lack propriety. Bullying others is like bullying heaven. The Western Liang barbarians will behead you. Your wife, children, and old ones will become slaves like me. One moment, he sings of Shui Pinggue, the next of Wang Baochuan. One moment, he sings the old male role, the next a female lead. Busy as heck, and his singing is truly top-notch. Holy crap, the streamer can really sing. I originally came for the laughs, but it turns out I'm the biggest joke. No way, you guys really have both talent and looks? Let me fill you in as an old fan. Huang He is professionally trained. He learned opera from childhood, listened to his early recordings. No matter what song he sings, it's all Beijing opera style. From a stage king of songs instantly to a grandpa in the park. What happened to relying on good looks for a living? What happened to relying on good looks for a living? He Yuxing shot to his feet, while my buddy wasn't paying attention. Sneakily grinding, huh? Count me in. Yuxing, sing a folk song and scare them to death. Let me introduce everyone. This colorful-haired person is a legend who sang Qinghai Tibet Plateau 3 times while doing a handstand in the live stream. His lung capacity is truly amazing. Wait, isn't Yuxing the dance lead? Why are they all making him sing? He Yuxing waved his hand grandly, indicating that singing upside down is his specialty, not something I show off easily. Today I'll perform a little dance piece combining Chinese and Western elements. Jinghong breaking. What? Don't freaking kill me with laughter. Broccoli, who doesn't like speaking foreign languages, even when dancing foreign dances, has to incorporate classical elements. I burst out laughing. He Yuxing actually knows how to do it. 1 second, he was doing the Jinghong dance. The next second, breaking. Just like he said, a fusion of Chinese and Western. A complete, yet mixed-up performance. The comments were in hysterics. Damn, the streamer is awesome. Ha ha. You striped bunnies really have so many talents. His basic skills seem good, but why is he dancing a startling swan dance? Ha ha. Now, the pressure is on the youngest member. The first three teammates showed off their skills and did their antics. Jung Sun smiled slightly, pulled a guitar out of thin air. Where did that big guitar come from? Guitar out of nowhere, wow. There's another strong one, waiting eagerly. What else can a youngest do? Jung Sun casually strummed the strings, nodded to the camera. A piece I made on the spot. Please enjoy, the song is called. We agreed to slack off together, but you all secretly grind. Jung Sun looked gentle as he played the guitar, but the lyrics he sang were outrageous. That day, I wore a dazed blonde wig. A black car brought me here. A black cat clawing at the dusty air. Pushing open the door, you said hurry in. This table's missing 3. How many times I wanted to escape. Pondering the truth and meaning of life. The evening wind breaks the inverted truth. You say stop messing around. Think about social insurance and housing fund. No way. You're really making up lyrics and music on the spot? LOL. Could this be the streamer's real experience? Although the lyrics are ridiculous. Surprisingly, they sound great. It has a philosophical vibe like let's go to the dock and get some fries. Ah Jung Sun, I want to cling to you forever. That night, the hashtags hashtag TWT hashtag CEO rap hashtag busy Huang hashtag Jinghong breaking hashtag we agreed to slack off but you secretly grind all trended on the hot search. The first live stream was only an hour and a half, but the hype was maxed out. Everyone was talking about this new 4-member boy band, Hua Zian and Wang Shutong, during a break from filming. Watch part of the live stream. Wang Shutong. This new boy band is really interesting. They got looks, they've got crazy stunts. Hua Zian's eyes curved into a smile. They're really talented. Could it be that Jung Sun was tricked into joining this group? Wang Shutong tilted her head. That self-composed song of his, isn't it really accusing his teammates and the team? He shouldn't be that kind of person. Maybe it's just a sudden whim. Inside the meeting room of Want Your Company, the others had left. Only Xiao Han and Xiao Moqing remained. Xiao Moqing couldn't help but laugh when he thought of He Yuxing's stunning breaking dance. Ever since they started letting Yuxing go wild, he's become more and more abstract. It's good, at least he's happy. Xiao Han scrolled through the live stream replay. He got to the part where Jung Sun was singing at the end. This newcomer, do you have any impression of him? I checked. He said to have just been signed by Jioding. But Mo Qian doesn't seem to know about this. He's like an off-the-books member. His personal contract is with Jioding. What a pity. Boss Xiao wanted to sign him. Xiao Han didn't give a clear answer. He turned off the projector. He just didn't want Jioding to get any benefit. At Minke Company, Xiao Jun was also watching the live stream. He originally wanted to see how Chang Jie's first stream as the male group's leader went. But he didn't expect his good teammates to be even better at stirring things up. Huang He Bishi Company, He Yuxing Want Your Company, Zhang Sun Jioding. Xiao Jun smiled faintly. The other core members of Minke sat on both sides of the conference table. Mo Qian didn't even know about it, and still managed to sign such talent. Catch Boss Mo's incredible career luck. Boss Missouri not only has incredible career luck, he also has incredible execution. Now, he's already standing outside Jai Studios' door, ready to knock and enter. Knock, knock. The door was tapped. Inside the room, the members were celebrating the smooth end of their first live stream. Jung Sun grabbed a box of ice cream from the fridge and opened the door with a spoon in his mouth. What came into view was a huge, ridiculously expensive bouquet of flowers. A face peeked out from behind the flowers and spoke with a grin. Jung Sun, congratulations on a smooth first stream. The ice cream spoon dropped to the floor. Jung Sun slowly turned his head. Stunned, he said to Chu Li, Sis, we have a Saising fan. Jung Sun said there was a Saising fan. The 4 people in the room immediately became alert. The members shielded Chu Li behind them. Cheng Jie walked to the door and saw a large bouquet of pink and purple flowers and a fox-like smiling face. Monta Qian? Cheng Jie hesitated a little. He had only met Mo Qian once or twice, so he didn't have a strong impression of him. At that moment, Chu Li heard the name and came around from behind the tall members. So it's Boss Missouri. Sorry for the rudeness. Chu Li proactively extended his hand and politely shook hands with Mo Qian. The bouquet naturally ended up in Jung Sun's arms. Jung Sun thought it was heavy and tried to pass it to Cheng Jie. Cheng Jie dodged. Jung Sun forcibly shoved the flowers into the captain's arms, then picked up the spoon that had fallen on the floor, went to the kitchen to get a new one. Mo Qian wore a dark suit. standing in the living room, looking like a proper gentleman, calmly looking at the few wary people. Hello, I'm Mo Qian, the boss of Jiuding. He Yuxing was the first to flare up. People from Jiuding weren't invited. I'm just here to check on the artist signed by my company. Mo Qian sat down on the sofa. The coffee table was cluttered with snacks. Li Zi, laptop, and even Zheng Sun's guitar. He Yuxing was about to say something else. But Huang He pressed down on his shoulder. All right, Yuxing, take a break for a while. Say less. Isn't Sister Chuli here? He Yuxing had just stood up when he was pushed back down. Frustrated, he went to the kitchen and happened to run into Zheng Sun, who was sneaking ice cream there. Why are you hiding here? Want some? It's blueberry. No. He Yuxing waved his hand irritably, suddenly realizing something. He grabbed Zheng Sun from behind, locking an arm around his neck. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you're an artist at Jiuding? Starting today, I'm cutting ties with you. Zheng Sun reached up and smacked hard at the forearm pressed against his neck. You're finished. You've angered the world's #1 assassin, Zheng Sun. Cut the crap. Answer my question. I was tricked into joining Jiuding too, you know. Back then, he said meals and accommodation were covered. So I came. How could you be so gullible? Just because of meals and accommodation? You sold yourself for that. What else? Oh, and the 5 social insurances and 1 housing fund. Saying this, Zheng Sun was still puzzled. You didn't just find out I'm a Jiuding artist, did you? A bit earlier than you think. He Yuxing didn't admit it. Zheng Sun figured he was just making excuses. He continued scooping out the ice cream to eat. The voices of Mo Qian and Chu Li could be faintly heard. The two were discussing the live stream that had just ended. Roughly, Mo Qian was representing Jiuding, congratulating TWT on the successful premiere, and taking the chance to ask Chu Li about Zheng Sun's performance in the group. Chu Li, as the ultimate evolved form of a corporate drone, naturally knew how to speak politely. She said Zheng Sun was doing very well in the group, mainly responsible for writing lyrics and cooperating happily with the other members. Everyone was gentle, calm, and mature. He Yuxing frowned as he listened. How is this like a parent-teacher meeting? He turned his head to look at Zheng Sun. The other person scooped up a large spoonful of ice cream. Don't eat so much. Sister Chu Li said we need to control our weight. Otherwise, we won't look good on camera. You haven't eaten? And you still say you haven't eaten? When the ice cream dies in your stomach, you'll say it couldn't think straight, right? No, I really haven't eaten. Zheng Sun was naturally blessed with a metabolism that never made him gain weight. A born idol, but Chu Li said everything was uncertain. A person's physique could change too. Anyway, the 4 of them kept an eye on each other. It goes without saying that in the end, it would just be 3 people watching over one. With nothing to eat, they could only scroll through their phones. Now, with just one refresh, they could see comments about their group. This new boy band is actually interesting. Did everyone watch TWT's live stream? Who would have thought the 4 of them are genuinely talented? Just by looking at their faces, I thought they were 4 pretty faces with no substance. Destined to be a visual group, destined to be a top group. Reaching the top is a bit much, isn't it? Aren't Jiuding and Wanshur about to debut new boy bands soon? I've even seen their official teaser photos. Although everyone says Jiuding is a career graveyard for rookies, the idols they push out are indeed high quality. Is anyone still paying attention to groups under Jiuding? Jiuding's idols are notorious for having the most scandals. A whole mess up there. All you troublemakers upstairs, hide your skin well. GOG is getting anxious again. The idol fandom always goes around in circles back to Jiuding. No matter what the topic starts with, it always goes in circles back to Wanshur. In the end, it's always fans of Jiuding and Wanshur fighting. Of course, even within the same company, fans of different groups also fight over their biases treatment. It's lively every day. Wanshur and Jiuding are indeed about to launch a new group soon. But neither company expected that. Their biggest rival wouldn't be each other, but the impromptu ragtag group TWT that came out of nowhere. Now, all fans in the idol world are paying attention to this new group. There are many hot posts about the group on every platform. People are also digging into the members' careers before debut. Sheng Jie and He Yuxing have the most material available. Huang He, that monkey-like streamer, still hasn't been exposed for now. Very little public material for him. Zheng Sun's identity is even more mysterious, making everyone unable to stop guessing. This guy probably got signed by Jiuding after being randomly scouted on the street. No matter how much they dig, There's no solid dirt on the four of them yet. Chung Jia has some gossip, but it's clearly just made up. The fans have done a good job clearing it up. Zhang Sun scrolled through his phone, whispering quietly with He Yuxing. I feel like our salary is about to break 3,500. I think so too, He Yuxing nodded. How much do you think next month's pay will be? I'm not picky. 5,000 is enough. Zhang Sun gave a conservative number. Then I'll take 5,200. Why do you get 200 more than me? Because I joined half a year before you. Zhang Sun couldn't take it and shoved him. I'll give you 5,250. That's 250 more than me. Fair enough? No way. Chung Jie and Huang, he have more seniority. Give them theirs. I just need 200 more than you. Zhang Sun had enough. He was about to fight He Yuxing. Take this, old man scam. Sneak attack. Watch this granny's breakdance. The two tussled back and forth. One moment eagle claws, the next snake hands, and a million fake moves in an instant. Until Chuli called out to Zhang Sun from outside. Zhang Sun, come here for a moment. Now Zhang Sun realized. The smiling guy who just opened the door was his boss. The boss was younger than he imagined, even under 30. He was also very handsome and had become a famous actor just a few years into his career. Later, he semi-retired from the entertainment industry to start business and was very successful, but with his killer instinct. Zhang Sun sensed that this boss of his was a troublesome figure. He Yuxing gloated nearby. Hurry up, hurry up. Get on the boss's good side. The rewards at the Jioding annual party are really generous. Do you know what the grand prize was last year? I don't want to know. Zhang Sun solemnly refused. But the enthusiastic He Yuxing wouldn't let him off. It was having dinner with the boss at a high-end restaurant with a per-person cost of 5,000 plus. Chatting about life for 2 hours. Zhang Sun's face turned white instantly. What kind of pervert would think of this kind of annual meeting grand prize? Zhang Sun, are you busy? Chu Li's voice came again. I'm coming, Sister Chu. Zhang Sun could only brace himself and walk out of the kitchen before officially coming out. Zhang Sun forcefully dragged He Yuxing along with him. I can't be the only one facing the pain alone. Zhang Sun said quietly and quickly. Aren't you an immortal lord? You have to save others and yourself. You save all the people in the world. Am I not one of the people of the world? The immortal lord does not save the people of Jioding. And how many times do I have to say it? I am the first disciple, not an immortal lord. Please respect my setting. Stop blabbering. Hurry up. The two of them, with hands behind their backs, frantically slapped each other. On the surface, they still acted like good friends. Mo Qian, Chu Li, Chung Jie, and Huang he were all in the living room. All of them looked at the two. Chung Jie sat on a single-seater sofa. Huang, he casually leaned against the side of the sofa, holding an open can of soda in one hand. Mo Qian sat on another single-seater sofa. Across from him was Chu Li. Sit here. Chu Li patted the only remaining spot on the two-seater sofa. She thought for a moment, then added, Zhang Sun, sit here. Chu Li knew them too well. If she didn't directly name them, Zhang Sun and He Yuxing would rather carry the sofa than sit down. As soon as she named them, He Yuxing immediately showed a relieved expression. Zhang Sun, with a gloomy face, sat down next to Chu Li, treating himself like a sofa cushion. Even without looking up, one could feel the immense pressure coming from the opposite side. Hello, Zhang Sun. I am Mo Qian, the boss of Jioding. This should be our first meeting. Mo Qian's voice was gentle when he spoke. Just looking at his approachable attitude and gentle, patient demeanor, one would never imagine he is a cold-blooded and ruthless person. Jioding indeed has a high rate of idols falling from grace. But those idols who bring public pressure and negative influence to the company, regardless of gender, background, or popularity, are all kicked out of the company by Mo Qian. They can date. Just don't let me find out. Don't let the fans find out. Don't let the entertainment reporters find out. If anyone wants to date but can't hide it well, then don't blame me for being unkind. None of you have such value that the company would go all out for you. What Jioding lacks least of all is high-quality rookie idols. Those who don't cherish the team's achievements and reputation. One must be prepared to be abandoned by the group. The above are all from Boss Mo's sayings. To be fair, Mo Qian treats newcomers, especially those with talent and potential, quite well. This kindness, but how much sincerity is hard to say. But Mo Qian thinks that caring about sincerity is meaningless. How can sincerity compare to benefits? having received benefits, yet also wanting sincerity. Isn't that too greedy? Mo Qian now looks at Zhang Sun, as if looking at a rising new star, a dazzling money tree, an unpretentious treasure trove. And Zhang Sun, though he never looked directly at Boss Missouri, could feel that opposite him sat a cheerful fox clicking an abacus, a merciless fake smile calculator, an elite-looking sightseeing fan. "Hello, boss," Zhang Sun said weakly. "I never expected it, a complete newcomer like me. Such an honor to meet the boss face to face." Montak Qian smeeded. "Actually, every idol who just joined Jioding, I have a conversation with them. But your recruitment process was quite special, and it lacked this step in between. Is that so? Haha. So that's how it is, haha." Zhang Sun gave a dry laugh twice, trying to make the situation less awkward. But Mo Qian had a knack for making everyone feel awkward. He only said one sentence and made 4 people stand up. "Zhang Sun, terminate your contract with TWT and come back to Jioding headquarters to develop your career." "What?" Cheng Jia, Huang He, Chu Li, and He Yuxing, who was already standing, all stood up. Mo Qian looked at them with pleasure. Team leader Cheng Jia was the first to object. "Mr. Mo, we've already formed a group and debuted. But the debut date is on the 23rd, isn't it?" Monta Qian replied methodically. "But the group contract has already been signed. Boss Missouri isn't a man who goes back on his word, right?" Huang He also disagreed with letting Zhang Sun leave. "No way, he's their lucky star. Otherwise, they'd still be averaging 3,500 each. The group contract? I'll discuss it personally with President Qin of Jiai. This is not something Zhang Sun needs to worry about." Mo Qian still explained gently. "He Yuxing has nothing to say to the people from Jioding." He used a brief oomph to show his stance of irreconcilable opposition to Jioding. Chu Li only felt her head buzzing. She knew Jioding was crazy, as could be seen from Zhang Sun, but she never expected that the king of craziness was right here. Communication with Mo Qian was too difficult, even if she had run 29 companies into the ground. In his presence, she was nothing but a rookie in the workplace. So Chu Li decided to ask for Zhang Sun's opinion. "Zhang Sun, what do you think?" Zhang Sun's lips twitched. Although he was in the thick of it, he was the one who saw it most clearly. "Boss, your joke isn't funny." Zhang Sun's attitude was very calm. He was even a bit speechless. After hearing that explosive remark, he was the only one who didn't stand up. The contract is written in black and white. Now the group is about to become popular. Boss Qin will never let go. Mo Qian was of course fully aware of this. So he was just testing, because Zhang Sun hadn't figured out what he was testing at all. So he directly concluded that Mo Qian was pulling some nonsense. Mo Qian played along, nodding with a smile. "I saw everyone's expressions were too serious. I wanted to liven up the atmosphere." Now the atmosphere was really livened up. Except for Zhang Sun, the other 4 were even a bit red-faced. Chu Li slowly sat down, breathing a sigh of relief inside. Mo Qian continued the topic they had been discussing. "Although it hasn't officially been debut day yet, TWT has already generated a lot of buzz. It's best to take advantage of the current momentum and roll out online and offline activities as soon as possible. Once the official debut happens, Jioding will begin collaborating with your group. If there's anything Jioding can help with, please don't hesitate to let us know. Teacher Chu. Just be straightforward after all. Zhang Sun is one of ours at Jioding. Looking out for each other is only natural." As Mo Qian said this, Chu Li realized he was getting ready to leave. Boss Missouri is still very busy. It's no small feat for him to come all the way to their small studio, just to meet with the artist. Chu Li quickly said, "You're too kind, Boss Missouri. Looking forward to more collaboration in the future." Mo Qian smiled and stood up to leave. Zhang Sun, who had been planning to slip away amid the commotion, was stopped by Chu Li. "Boss Missouri, let's see you out. Let Zhang Sun escort me. I want a few words with him alone." "Okay." Agent Chu ruthlessly pushed Zhang Sun away. With a worried look, Zhang Sun followed Mo Qian. "Boss, I'll see you out." "Thanks." The corridor is very dark. Mo Qian walked ahead. Zhang Sun followed behind. The two walked in silence. When they exited the stairwell and stepped outside, Mo Qian stood under the dim yellow streetlight. Suddenly, he asked a question. "Zhang Sun, let's skip the hour-long newbie chat session. I'll only ask you one question. Don't rush to answer me." Zhang Sun, who had been looking down and kicking pebbles, heard his serious tone. He suddenly looked up. What question? In an instant, 800 deadly topics that bosses always ask flashed through Zhang Sun's mind. Maybe Mo Qian would ask him how to be a good idol, or maybe ask him how to maintain his current popularity. The most insane question he could think of, it was to ask him if he wanted to leave the group and join Jioding. But Mo Qian didn't ask any of that. He just slightly turned his face, as if talking to himself. Where did the flowers I sent go? A question mark slowly appeared above Zhang Sun's head. Monta Qian smedet. I'll go first. See you at the company another day. Zhang Sun, the suddenly visiting boss Missouri, left. The four members of TWT and manager Chu Li once again entered intense preparations. Soon, the official debut day arrived. Before the official debut day arrived, the official account had been hyping it up for several days. The members were also actively reposting and promoting to maintain a certain sense of anticipation. The four of them did not stream live for these few days. He Yuxing's daily live streaming account also remained logged out. They recorded the debut song, filmed the debut music video. The official account released the four members' official profile cards for the first time. Many detailed contents were added to them, including the four members' positions within the group, specialties, and personal preferences. Boss Qin watched their first live stream and acknowledged the value of the four of them. Jai Company started to push hard. The hashtag for TWD's debut night warm-up trended on the hot search. Netizens couldn't wait any longer. Why aren't they debuting yet? Why aren't they debuting yet? Why aren't they debuting yet? I'll hold my breath until the temperature rises and they debut. Even if it's not debut night yet. Why isn't there even a single video clip of the members? QWQ, are you still alive? At this rate, my expression will be the same as the group name. Anxiously waiting. Compared to the uproar online, the studio was very calm. No, it can't be called calm. It was deathly silent. Zhang Sun, He Yuxing, and Huang He, the three of them, were squeezed onto a two-seater sofa. Sitting side by side, all three were holding their breath. Across from them, Cheng Jie was making final tweaks to the debut song. With a serious expression, they had been maintaining this state for 2 hours. It's hard to imagine three hyperactive people having such perseverance. 2 hours ago, team leader Cheng laid down the law. He said he needed to perfect the debut song one last time. If possible, he asked the three teammates not to breathe. Not that he was trying to restrict their movements. He just needed a quiet environment. Before Cheng Jie even finished speaking, Zhang Sun was already raising his hand to protest. This is how the members of their boy band operate. Even though they never see eye to eye, they always raise their hands when they want to object. And when they want to fight, they give each other a verbal heads up. A state of limbo between politeness and rudeness. This time, Zhang Sun raised his hand. Even if Cheng Jie didn't listen, he already knew what he was going to say. So he simply didn't give Zhang Sun the chance to speak. If I don't finish, then one or several of you will have to take over. Huang He and He Yuxing immediately pushed Zhang Sun's hand down. Then came the long 2-hour wait. During that time, Zhang Sun said he wanted to go out. After all, out of sight, out of mind. But Captain Cheng didn't allow it. Zhang Sun said, I am not even showing up in front of you. Still no. Cheng Jie didn't even lift his eyelids. Staring at the screen, your presence gives me a small amount of inspiration, provided you don't talk. Saying this, Cheng Jie even raised an eyebrow. Is there any way to keep you alive, but not moving? Zhang Sun looked left at Huang He, then right at He Yuxing, signaling with his eyes. I told you, with Cheng Jie's character, he'll end up on a legal program sooner or later. His two teammates gave him helpless looks. He Yuxing even mouthed words to him. Think about the 3,500. Finally, Cheng Jie took off his headphones. Let out a long sigh. It seemed like a job well done. The three slowly slid from the sofa to the floor. Zhang Sun stared at the ceiling, dizzy, feeling the world was surreal. Who still remembers he was trained as an assassin? And now he's going to debut as a boy band member. But then he thought, just because he's in a boy band, does that mean he can't be an assassin anymore? He had already done his research. This industry is cutthroat, with tons of rival groups. There's got to be business opportunities there. The assassin Zhang Sun thought about this, and suddenly felt hopeful inside. He turned his head and found He Yuxing lying beside him in the same pose. also staring at the ceiling. What are you thinking about? Zhang Sun asked. I'm thinking here I am, a top disciple, about to debut in another world. He Yuxing turned his head, staring seriously at Zhang Sun. Do you think they can add special effects to a boy band performance? Zhang Sun grabbed a pillow and hit him with it. Stop obsessing over your crappy special effects. Huang He beside them smirked as he watched the two of them. You two seem to have a lot of reflections on debuting. He Yuxing struggled to poke his head out from under the pillow. Huang He, don't you have any thoughts at all? You, Avenger. Now you're going to become an idol. You're not sorry, but I am. Huang He smiled even more brightly. Too bad, I'll be a public figure from now on. I won't be able to send a bouquet to my enemy's grave every year. Huang He told him not to overthink. Overthinking is useless. What if we flop right after debut? This happened to be heard by the agent who pushed the door open. Chu Li didn't even lift his head. Just said directly, Huang He, next month's songwriting assignments will be doubled. Chu Li was holding the live broadcast script. Told them all to come over. I just got back from the company. Your debut momentum is very good now. There's extremely high online attention. As for whether the current popularity will go up another level, it depends on tonight's debut live stream. Chu Li looked at the four members with distinct styles in front of him. These are all the future cash cows for the company and for her. Even though the cash cow looks a bit abnormal. But who knows, maybe fans nowadays are into this kind of thing. Chu Li also decided to bet her career on this. Moments like this in her life, so far, had only occurred 29 times. Although I prepared a script for you, I think, given the style of the four of you, you probably won't need it. Letting you improvise might be better. Chu Li smiled slightly. She rarely smiled, and when she did, it made others realize that Chu Li herself was actually a bright and stunning beauty. I trust the four of you will definitely bring surprises to the audience, to passers-by, and to your future fans. Chu Li's voice was firm. A thin piece of paper fluttered down from a stack of documents. Zhang Sun bent down to pick it up. Sis, your job resume fell. The other three wiped their sweat. Close call, they almost fell for that emotional moment. No one blamed Chu Li, because they were just like Chu Li. Each of them had kept a backup plan. Now this boy band that keeps 4 backup plans was about to officially debut. At 8 p.m. on the 23rd, the live stream officially started. Hundreds of thousands of people flooded in instantly. Finally, I've been waiting for Zhang Sun. Zhang Sun, Boss Chung, Boss Chung, want your family fan reporting for duty. Yuxing, I'm here. Our Huang, he finally debuted. Wah. The 4 members of TWT appeared on the live stream screen, greeting the audience on the other side of the screen. To avoid the echo issue from last time, Cheng Jie had drilled the other 3 for half a day this time. As the team leader, Cheng Jie spoke confidently. Hello everyone, we are TWT. No echo this time, but only Cheng Jie's voice was heard. Cheng Jie still had his quick temper, even though it was the group's debut night. That didn't stop him from interrogating the other 3. What's going on? The 3 stood side by side to his right, all turning their heads to look at him. Captain, I was afraid I'd mess up the chant, said Huang He. I left the opportunity for everyone else. Captain, I don't know any foreign language, said He Yuxing. I won't hold the team back. Captain, I just lost my voice, said Zhang Sun. Cheng Jie's temple twitched 3 times. He took a deep breath. The bullet comments burst into laughter, as expected of our sweet candy. Still so good at creating drama. Captain Cheng, in the end, I bear it all. So the group's punching bag is Cheng Jie. Just kidding, look at our Cheng boss's persona. If not for the cameras, he would have started a real fight right there. Cheng Jie is very polite, okay? He doesn't just hit people. Not someone who hits people casually. Wow, TWT really has guts. Ignoring the script like that. Improvising wildly, doesn't the company care? The company says, I didn't think they'd actually debut either. Cheng Jie was speechless, but in the end didn't blow up. He turned his face back to the camera. Thank you everyone for coming to the live stream today to witness our debut as a 4-member group. Cheng Jie didn't even bother pretending anymore. He simply picked up the script. Now for the first segment. First reveal of our debut song. Zhang Sun, tell us the name of our debut song. Zhang Sun was called upon. He looked at the camera with a sunny, bright smile. TWT's debut song is called Our Group is Probably Doomed. No way, no way. Who names their debut song that? Ha 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 ha. They've got that beautiful mental state of beating drums and waiting for the company to go bankrupt. How did this debut song even pass the company's internal review? Ha ha ha. I knew it was Jung Sun's idea. Serious-faced, Jung Sun caught sight of this comment, immediately refuted it. I only played a role in providing inspiration. It was Captain Chung who actually completed it. When in doubt, push the captain forward. Chung Jie quickly said he didn't dare take credit. Actually, Jung Sun is the lyricist and inspiration behind this debut song. Huang He and Yu Xing also participated in the production. Huang He and Yu Xing, one shook his head, the other waved his hand. No, 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 this is all the credit of the captain and Jung Sun. Yeah. Isn't this song a masterpiece you two created together after 3 days and 3 nights? Laughing to death, none of the four wanted to admit they had anything to do with this song. First time seeing a humble boy band, more like a breakup type group. The four of them open their eyes every morning and look at each other, afraid the other might grab their bucket and run first. There's a chaotic aesthetic to it. By the way, is this really the debut song? Company and manager, please save us. Exactly. We finally found a boy group that matches my vibe. You guys can't just run away. Even funnier, now the idols and fans of TWT are both afraid the other will bail first. Ha ha ha. Jung Sun just announced the debut song title, and TWT is already trending. The two hashtags hashtag our group is probably doomed and hashtag disbanded boy group are hanging high on the hot search list. Truly, staying up all night to prep memes can't keep up with natural talents. While other rookie boy groups are struggling to gain popularity, the ragtag group TWT has already trended multiple times thanks to their absurd stunts. Netizens laugh while asking if TWT really has no company managing them. Otherwise, how could they pick a song like this as their debut track? But what they didn't expect, even more, is that this song actually has choreography. The debut song's first public reveal via livestream, and a performance at the same time. But Chuli said it'll be a few days before they perform on music shows. Today they'll first dance in the livestream room, as the barrage scrolled uniformly with. The four of them actually stood up seriously. The camera zoomed out to capture them all in the frame. Today, the four were dressed mainly in white and gray, similar in style, but with subtle differences in details, highlighting a clean and sharp image. Chuli, off camera, hit the play button for the music. The tempo of this ridiculous debut song was surprisingly fast. The four found their positions. On stage, they were nothing like the group that couldn't even shout their slogans in unison moments ago. Singing, dancing, and positioning. They perfected their expressions and management to the extreme. Chung Jie was a versatile all-rounder alpha. Huang He and Yu Xing had both undergone formal idol training. Jung Sun, though not extensively trained as an idol, being an assassin, learned everything quickly. The 4S choreography was all taught by dance lead Yu Xing, who even meticulously refined every detail, skipping over countless instances of real-life brawls in between. Anyway, the effect was pretty good. The bullet comments were amazed. Wow, I thought this boy band was only good at messing around. Didn't expect they can actually sing and dance. So cool, I'm instantly becoming a fan. How could they only be good at messing around? Anyone who watched their first live stream knows all four of them are top tier in both songwriting and performance. Now I'm even more confused. Why did those four companies just leave them to fend for themselves? I think their skills are way better than those boy bands debuting soon. What are other boy bands going to do? They can't outdo TWT in fun antics, and they can't match them in skill either. That tone, you have to admit, this messy song is weirdly catchy. Hashtag TW Butt Songstage hashtag was trending again. Have to say, strength speaks for itself. As long as you have talent, no matter how you play around, you can attract a ton of new fans. This time, TWT's debut stage wasn't just watched by casual viewers. Other entertainment companies are also paying attention. They're all in the same industry, keeping an eye on what the competition is up to. It's also an important part of the job. Hua Zian was the latest to become a fan of TWT. To be precise, he only followed Jung Sun. He had looked into it, and according to fandom terms, he was what they called a Jung Sun solo stan. There wasn't really any special reason for it. It was just because Jung Sun had an exceptionally compelling charisma. Jung Sun was the fastest growing member in terms of fan base within the group. He always gave people a sense of surprise. No one ever knew what he would say next. or what he would do. Huazian felt that his own personality was the complete opposite. He was a rigid and dogmatic person himself. But Zhang Sun seemed to possess the courage to break all constraints. He paid so much attention to him that some of the close colleagues in the company would sometimes chat with him about TWT and Zhang Sun. This time, everyone had just finished their gigs. Taking a short break at the company, Wang Shudong suggested watching TWT's live stream. The others, including Huazian, immediately agreed. They cast it onto the TV in the lounge. They watched the live stream, occasionally laughing and commenting, until Wang Shudong suddenly sensed something different. She looked up and saw a tall figure standing behind the sofa. A boss. This uninvited guest who hadn't made a sound was exactly Su Guan, the boss of Qinglan. Su Guan had just been passing by, still holding a coffee cup. He heard the lounge bustling with activity. A few new actors in the room were huddled together watching some live stream. The work atmosphere at Qinglan, compared to Jioding, was still pretty good. Of course, if Jioding was used as a benchmark, many companies could confidently say they were doing well. The company's operations were well organized. Everyone had their own responsibilities, which suited Su Guan's meticulous and disciplined personality. Because everyone has to go on promotional tours. Usually, there aren't many artists in the company, but the newcomers haven't received many gigs yet. So for now, we can still gather a few here. Su Guan has a meeting in an hour. He finishes up the work at hand. He's resting, thinking there's still plenty of time until the meeting. So he casually checks what the newcomers are watching. The screen just happens to be showing the debut song reveal segment. The 4 members of TWT are performing their debut song. It's precisely Zhang Sun's part. Zhang Sun bends down and glides. He moves to the center. The camera instantly zooms in. He tilts his head slightly and winks his left eye. The barrage comments speed up instantly. Everyone is shouting Zhang Sun's name. This is just an online live stream. I can't imagine when there are offline events how loudly the fans will scream. Su Guan knows Zhang Sun, although Qinglan doesn't focus on idol management. But the entertainment circle is only this big. Whatever other companies are up to, Su Guan would also pay attention immediately. Su Guan had seen the news about Zhang Sun chasing someone for 3 blocks. He learned about the new boy band TWT. Then from their official blog, he found out information about Zhang Sun, Jioding Entertainments. At that time, Su Guan stared at the computer screen. The news was playing on a loop. Su Guan picked up the office phone. He dialed Mo Qian's number. Mo Qian picked up without even asking, already knowing who it was. President Su, could you use your personal number to contact me next time? Every time you use the office line, I think Qinglan is about to sue us again. Mo Qian's voice came through with a hint of amusement. I don't want to pollute my personal number. Then he got to the point. Zhang Sun is someone your company recently signed. I haven't seen any public material about him. Mo Qian was silent for 5 seconds. Then he asked a question. Who is Zhang Sun? Su Guan knew that every newcomer entering Jioding had a mandatory one-on-one talk session with the boss. This was a rule set by Mo Qian. The purpose was for him to better understand each newcomer's personality, so that the company could formulate appropriate training plans. But now, Mo Qian didn't know who Zhang Sun was. Su Guan fell silent as well. He knew that Jioding, from top to bottom, was a loosely organized company, but he didn't expect it to be this fragmented. President Su, I need to handle some urgent matters. Let's talk another time when I'm free. Mo Qian hung up the phone first. It seemed he had gone specifically to deal with this matter. TWT's first live stream, Su Guan had missed due to a business trip. Later, when he had free time, he caught up on some clips of the live stream. He had been busy these past few days, causing him to forget all about TWT's debut day. Unexpectedly, by a twist of fate, he still ended up watching it. The newcomers in the lounge heard the word boss. All of them stood up as if triggered by a reflex. Su Guan waved his hand to signal them not to be formal. Just sit. I'm just looking around casually. Now, they didn't know whether to stand or sit. Su Guan had no choice but to find an empty armchair and sit down. The newcomers were like winter sparrows, huddled together on a long sofa. Su Guan stared at the TV screen, without any intention of speaking. The lounge became eerily quiet. Now the newcomers didn't have time to look at Zhang Sun. They were all sneaking glances at the boss. The boss is really handsome, but he's so serious. The boss is really serious, but he's so handsome. Su Guan turned his head and found the newcomers looking at him with troubled expressions. Only Huizian was still immersed in the live stream. It seems that among these four people, there is an idol he follows. Su Guan knew, without thinking, that it must be Zheng Sun. Had originally planned to talk to Huizian alone about the new drama, but Su Guan temporarily shelved that thought. Better to wait until he finishes watching the live stream. Just in time, it's almost time for the meeting. I have a meeting later. You guys take your time watching. Su Guan stood up, the creases on his suit pants instantly smoothing out. The others, as if a switch had been flipped, shot up from their seats. Take care, boss. Huizian was a step slower. It was Wang Shutong next to him who urgently patted his shoulder. Only then did he belatedly stand up. Su Guan nodded lightly to everyone, turned around, opened the door, and left. Only after the sound of his footsteps faded away did the others suddenly heave a sigh of relief. Scare me to death. Thought we were going to be scolded by the boss. The boss is really so serious. I heard before that he even scolded a senior actor until they cried. I've also heard that gossip, but it seems it was because that senior had a very nasty scandal. It caused a huge impact on the company. Anyway, after that incident, everyone became a lot more disciplined. After all, when the boss gets mad, it's really terrifying. Do you think the boss also follows celebrities? Otherwise, why would he watch the live stream with us? How is that possible? That's the boss of Qinglan. With so many handsome men and beautiful women in the entertainment industry, he's seen plenty of them already. But while there are many good-looking ones, there are few who are both good-looking and have serious issues. That's true. The rookies were chattering and gossiping about the boss. Huizian didn't join their conversation. He continued to focus on the live stream. This debut live stream lasted a full 3 hours. Aside from revealing the debut song, the rest of the time was for the members' formal self-introductions. They went one by one, with each member having half an hour, interacting with the audience and answering their questions. The order of the interaction segment was based on age. Cheng Jie was first, Zheng Sun last. As a dedicated solo fan, Huizian didn't look at the other three. During this time, he went to read the script. When Zheng Sun came online, he reopened the phone live stream. Zheng Sun waved to the viewers outside the camera. He had changed out of his stage outfit and put on a black hoodie. Hello, everyone. I'm Zheng Sun, a member of TWT. As soon as Zheng Sun spoke, the barrage started flooding in. Zheng Sun, Zheng Sun. Zheng Sun waited with a smile for everyone to finish their excitement before saying his next line. Now it's my interaction session. Feel free to ask any questions. The moment he mentioned questions, a flood of them popped up on the screen.